Good morning, how you doing? This is Mike Restrepo or Restrepo Innovations. This is my morning rant. So, got another training coming up, another certification for Coastal Source, which some of you may know, some of you may not. But Coastal Source is a definitely super ultra high-end brand. And as you notice from a lot of the brands we use, they're ultra high-end, and there's a reason, you know. You know, a lot of people think, oh, it's just fancy stuff, and there's, you know, like, oh, how much different can things be? And Dave, what's up, buddy? And the difference is huge, you know. I can't even lie. The difference is huge from quality, you know, longevity. You know, you start talking about warranties. Hey, Alyssa, how you doing? Alyssa, you want to laugh? I was by your house, by your old house in Burgerfield, and I thought of you. I was laughing. I thought of you. Hope things are good. What's up, Dave? Always good to see you, amigo. Thanks for being on. But so why do we do the ultra high? Why do we go and why do we, you know? Because it costs us money to become part of these certification, these flights. You know, all this stuff, all these things that we need to do. Yeah, right by the house. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know why I was there. I almost stopped. I couldn't. I don't know why I jumped in my head, but I was right in front of your house. But I thought it was funny. Yeah, the memories. Can you imagine that? But so these brands, they cost all kinds of money, you know. Everything from the sign up. Then there's demos that you need to, you know, demo package you need to purchase. There's training, flights, there's all these things. And the why, you know, we signed up from HTA. Why do we do that? You know, why do we sign up and why do we push that? All these things cost money, you know, and, but why? And the reality is the why is very simple. It's a differentiator. It's the thing that makes us different. It's where we show and not only that, but where do you think the knowledge is coming from? You know, these brands, not only do they give you the training, as I said, all these trainings, they set you up in this way. Now, I've sold a lot of different companies, a lot of different stuff. There's stuff out there that they don't tell you anything. But then there are certain brands that are ultra high-end, like the restaurants, the coastals. You know, they go in so deep to make sure that your sales process, your sales process is correct, your actual technicians, your install, all of that is in line and happens perfectly. Now that's so important, you know, that you get that support, because how are you supposed to achieve these high level things? Never mind margin, you know, actually having margin that means something, that is a game changer for someone's business. That's the difference from being able to afford that vehicle to like struggling to just pay the bills. And that's important at this realm, because at the ultra high end, you can have $10,000 problems. And how are you supposed to resolve them if you don't have the capital to pay for your issues? And that's where margin and things like that come in, billing the correct price. You know, so, hey, what's up, buddy? Custom rock, buddy. Hope you're feeling good. And, you know, doing all these things, and again, why we align ourselves with such high-end brands, because the trainings, the certifications, all that stuff, and the warranties, let me tell you, the warranties are amazing. With Crestron, their lighting, their shades, and their speaker, lifetime. And I can get 5 years on everything else by getting the design certified. Think about that, 5 years. At a bare minimum, you're getting on the equipment. Who does that? You know, high-end luxury brands. Coastal, lifetime on their lighting, and I think it's 10 years on their audio. This stuff is a tank. You know, and that's, you buy these things, and yeah, they cost money, but they last. You know how many people I know buy vintage, high-end clothes? Like a Louis Vuitton bag from I don't know when. And it's insane. You think about it, like, really? Like, yeah, when's the last time you seen an Old Navy shirt last more than a year? Like, that stuff fades and dies out, and that's the low-hanging fruit. That's what I'm always trying to stress to people. That cheap stuff, you think you're saving money, you're not. It's like a waste. It's a huge waste, you know. And we see brands that are stopping lying to themselves. Like, I just read an article about Iris and Lowe's getting rid of it because, you know, it turned into a huge boat anchor for them. They need to get out of the market. And that was their whole home automation DIY thing. Because again, it's as much as people say they want to do these things themselves, they want them done correctly, and they actually want them to work amazingly and all that. And yeah, things are getting better, but a lot of the stuff sold out there is just BS and smoke and mirrors. It doesn't really quite work the way people anticipate. So a lot of it ends up being like garbage. So again, why we attach ourselves, because I want to have an install that works. I want stuff to be super stable. I mean, as stable as it gets. And we need product that will amaze and really blow lines. That's why, you know, you see us using things like Acoustic Innovations for wall treatments for the ultra high end, because Jay Miller over there and his team, they do amazing stuff. Got Jacob over there killing it, James, excuse me, and he's you know, their team is phenomenal, and they're like, the whole installation comes out great. Again, ultra high end brand, it's great stuff. Oh, Miranda, there's another high end brand, Acoustic Innovation. Why do I sell their stuff? Because again, look at that. We got in, they brought us out to Vegas for trainings. They showed us stuff. They explained how the products work. They got really in bed with us and really tried to make sure we understood. That is that luxury brand feel that we're all looking for. You know, and that's the thing. Why do we sell? Morning, Miranda. You rock. We're missing you out here in Jersey. Trust me. Hopefully one day you can come back again. We got some more projects for you. We definitely love you guys over there and gals. But this is why we grab these luxury brands. Because again, how do you get, and think about it, there's Origin Acoustics, Lifetime, I think, no, it's Lifetime or 10 years on their speakers, but like, when have they ever said no? Like, that just doesn't happen over there. They're so amazing, they do it again, and they have margin. So these are, you know, people always ask, why do you sell this expensive stuff? Not everything's expensive, but it has to work amazingly. So if you really start talking value, way too cold up there right now. No, it is. It's freezing. But we're on our way to Florida tomorrow, so we'll be warming up at the Coastal Source training in Marathon. So hopefully we get a little warmer. And of course, we're like going nuts over here with projects, but that's not a bad thing. Definitely appreciative of it. But these, again, why we grab and we gravitate to these brands, you know, to these ultra high-end stuff. Vitria. You know, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's like a captive touch glass screen. Amazing, phenomenal Crestron native, amazing warranty. You know, again, ultra high-end brand. They did not stop training. I had to buy a demo kit to buy. Everything is said and done. Each one of these, like, you're thousands of dollars into these things to become part of a dealer. To become, and some of you like, oh, I don't want to become. I should just buy through distribution. I shouldn't have to do any of that stuff. Think about what that means. You know, we all use that term, you know, we've all heard that trunk slammer or whatever, but we need to differentiate ourselves. That's why I always try to grab the brands that make our brand look special, to make us, so that we can elevate above the rest, so we can be seen, because there's noise in essence. And that's all the dealers talking, everybody trying to do their thing, and you need to get beyond the noise. You know, and get above it, so that you can really see, like, you can be, you know, out there and people really notice you. So again, if you're just pushing these low brands, you know, it's just not gonna, it's not gonna happen. You got zero margin. How are you supposed to market when you have zero margin? Like, I know of a brand right now that say they appreciate the CI channel, yet I saw their stuff being sold cheaper than I can actually buy it through the channel at like Costco. I was like the level of infuriating that was. Let me reassure, we we don't sell that stuff. Like that's a real line of why we don't sell that garbage. And it's the low-hanging fruit, you know. We try to push product that works, that understands its space. Look at Josh AI. There's a buy-in. Alex is an amazing guy. Casey over there. I could go on and on about his team, the training, the level of interaction with you, and all that. But again, these are brands that you need to pay to get in. You need to pay to play. And the reality is, that's not all a bad thing. Why? You know, it's almost like an initiation to be part of it. And why? So that they know that you have some skin in the game. That this is important to you as well. I watch so many distributors come in and say, oh yeah, wait, there's nothing. You can just come in. Here, just sign a paper. Here, you're a dealer. And they have 1 million dealers, and more than half of them suck because it's easy to become a dealer, and then they ruin product, they kill margin, they whore it out for nothing. And it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It can't be that way. It totally can't be that way. And then they wonder why us dealers, and you're seeing it more and more, and we see it in every market. Like, it always happens. The high consumable. We saw it here. We saw it with music. Remember, we had Napster, LimeWire. Everybody got sick over being able to download music and got viruses and all that. And that was the low-hanging fruit. We all did it. And then they got more and more mature, and we had better, still crappy MP3 music, but we got better and better. And now, look at what we have now. We have Lossless, we have Tidal, and 1 million product lines too. They don't care about the actual lines. Oh yeah, that's another hilarious thing. They carry 1 million speaker lines. Yeah, I've seen that one too. I gotta admit, Miranda, that's another funny thing. It's like, you say you do everything. Does that mean you do nothing? Because I don't know. And Miranda, you know, we get in really deep in bed with these manufacturers, and we really, you know, we try to understand the product. You know, we really try to get it and understand the direction that you're going and align it with our company and really push it forward. And that's why you'll see a lot of Origin speaker in our setups. Why? Because we love Origin. We feel like they love us back. We feel like this is a great relationship. Miranda has been nice enough to fly out. Think about fly out, see our sites, even brought in someone else to help us if we ever need any help or anyone to come on site or anything. And all these, and that's that over and above. You've seen Crestron come on countless sites. You know, even my buddy Rob Scuba over at the Tech Reps comes on the sites and helps. And think about that. Like, we need more manufacturers to do that. We need more. But you only get there having the right product, doing the right thing. Because, you know, you think selling one of these cheap little things, somebody's going to care? Nobody cares. They don't care in that realm. You sell a ring, you think one of those guys are going to come and, hey, dealer, how you doing? It doesn't happen, you know? That's why. But at the same time, you devalue your own company when you try to attach yourself to everybody. That don't work either. And I stress this to people. No, Vasquez, how you doing? And know the brands and become in depth with the brand. Get it, know it, feel it, you know, really understand where you're going with it and where it's going, and you really understand how to use it and tweak it. I mean, I got a whole sauce on how to mix those speakers from Origin and how to make them sound great, how to pair them up, you know, audio control. Look at that, another high-end brand, great margin. Alex Camara over there, amazing guy, has been nothing but helpful to me. You know, always like, this guy always wants to help. His whole team over there always wants to help. You know, they've even gone as far as ask me questions about, hey, I'm trying to design this thing. What do you think, Mike? That's that interaction. I can't tell you. That stuff makes me drunk. I'm like, I love it. I love it. We're going in a good direction. And that's that being involved and not trying to act like an island. But again, if you sell 1 million brands, don't think a brand's going to talk to you. For what? It's like this. It's like you're trying to, as a guy, at least, I can speak, or no, actually anybody. If you try to date everybody, no one will date you. That's just the facts. You gotta find one, you get married, and then you have a much more fulfilling relationship. I can say this happily about my wife and I. I've had lots of girlfriends before my wife, and once I got my wife, I really got a fulfilling relationship. I'd say it's the same thing with manufacturing. In essence, you're marrying them. You're coming together to try to push something forward to do. And if you can't respect your relationship with them, how are you to think they're going to respect the relationship with you? And if and it's the same thing, because when you get married, think about it. And never mind all the dating and courting and all that, but beyond all that, when you seal the deal with your wife or your significant other, you give them a fancy ring, right? That's buying into the agreement. Again, doesn't that sound familiar? Because that agreement is supposed to last a long time. Forever, I heard. At least that's for me. And that's, now you have skin in the game. You say, yeah, I'm going to buy into it. I'm going to do all these things, and we're going to grow this together. And that's the relationship that we need to have. That's the relationship that I'm always pushing, that I want to be together. I want us to grow and to grow together. And I'm not going to carry a million lines. Like, we only install Crestron. Now, I'm not trying to knock any other brand. That's great. I know a lot of people do other brands very, very amazingly. Things come out great, blah, blah, blah. But I don't sell other brands because I do Crestron. Like, if I did something else, I probably would just sell that. Because, again, if you really understand the product and you're doing it well, then you just do that. Then it all works out. It's when, and honestly, I've been at fault of doing this early on, just trying to find money and get on my way and all that. I was my own enemy for a long, long time. I carried everything. I would go into distribution and be like, what do you have cheap? What can I get? And always selling the most inexpensive stuff, basically giving jobs away. The customer hated it. I hated it. Life sucked. It was so brutal. Manufacturers didn't even really want to talk to me. And the ultra high-end customer, they were even less like, we don't even want to talk to you. And every so often, I would meet a good customer, which is funny because now what I would have considered good then is borderline not even good enough. Like, they wouldn't have been the customer that I would need today, with today's standards. So, and because we are ultra picky on who we do business with. And that's the thing. I was like a yes guy. Yes, yes, yes. We can do it. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And that was probably the worst decision I could make. I had to understand the power of no. And I think a lot of these ultra high-end brands, they get the power of no. You can't say yes to everyone. You can't have everyone selling your product. You need to maintain some of that exclusivity. You need to maintain some of that quality to know it goes through. Every control manufacturer has done that. Every almost, like, I've seen so many. They just take in all kinds of dealers. And now, because I know, I'm not going to talk about any other brand. I know Crestron. We've had a lot of conversations about this. And Crestron will admit, they have cut, I don't know how many hundreds of dealers in the United States alone from dealerships. Just cut them out. Like, nope. You guys and gals are not doing the right thing. You're not the right company. I'm sorry. You're losing distribution. And I encourage more manufacturers to do this as well. Get rid of the dead weight. And it's both ways. If you're a dealer, you have a product, you're not seeming to be able to sell it, or it's not working for you, stop saying you're carrying it. Because honestly, saying you carry a million brands, that doesn't help anybody. Because it looks like a joke. It's like, how do I explain? If you go into a Ferrari dealership, they sell Ferraris. But I'm sure at the Ferrari dealership, if he tries to sell a Honda, it will sit there, never get sold. Same thing, if you go to the Honda dealership and you try to sell Ferraris at the Honda dealership, I'm sure every single salesman is going to be like, that Ferrari is so expensive. How am I supposed to sell this? No one comes in here looking for this kind of stuff. This is a loser. And he's right. Because that's not your market. You're trying to sell to the wrong market, and you've pigeonholed yourself into the wrong space. So, and then you wonder why you don't get the customer. Is because, or the customer that you feel you want, but that's not actually what you're practicing. And that's a hard one for dealers to admit, that they are their own enemy. Because I always hear people, everybody, when you start talking, especially as dealers, it's funny because we all sound like little kids sometimes. Yeah, everybody does. Oh no, I sell to the high end. I sell ultra high end stuff, and I'm like, dude, I've never seen a single project from the ultra high end. What are we talking about? You want to do that? Now that's cool. You know, I'm a real big with visualization, and if you say you put yourself in that space and you get there. I'm 100% on board with that. I do that a lot myself. You know, I put myself into space, I visualize, I get there, I see myself through. That's another topic, and you know, I get through it. But again, you have to be honest about the brands that you have and the things that you're doing. If you start going for this low-hanging fruit, you know, like, there is no win for anybody. And that's the thing, you being honest with yourself, having the kind of products. That's why products like Meridian, Pro Audio Tech, you know, I could go on and on. Randall, Josh, thanks for joining. I could go on and on about various brands that are ultra high end, and they can sit in their own space. But if you carry all of them, it won't work. That's the funny part. And you'll see major dealers, they don't carry every brand. They carry very particular ones, and they do it in a very particular way. And ironically, they're winning because they do it that way. And it's a very simple equation. It's definitely not overly complicated. You know, you can just you just pick the things that you really want to do and you do them. It's literally that simple. And but you can't try to do everything. And I know I keep saying this is because it's really that simple. And it's almost like I'm trying to push this into everybody. Like, you can't be everything for everyone. Like, I'm sure many people wish it played like that, but the reality, the fact of the matter is, hey John, what's up, buddy? You can't. And how are you supposed to install? Because there are products, even Crestron, like, yeah, they're black boxes, and everybody's like, oh, you just put it in. But if you don't have your secret sauce on how to put this in right, like, it's gonna hurt, you know? Even these speakers, like, how many times I see distributed audio systems, and I'm like, yo, how come 50% in this room is not 50% in that room, and it sounds way different? And also, like, why is the speaker cracking at such low volumes? And, you know, here are the little details that actually calibrating some speakers. And Carl, what's up? Hey, boss. And actually calibrating rooms, their audio, the speaker, seeing the curve, really bringing the essence out of the speaker. That's understanding your equipment. That's really going in depth and really making it work. And that's how it becomes flawless. That's how things, like my network switches, I'm telling you, I go up, and when I start showing people all the little things that I'm touching, IGMP snooping, RSDP, I'm routing, I'm multi-VLAN, everybody's like, God damn, like, what's all that for? I'm like, all this for? This is so my system don't ever restart. I'm not wasting time. I'm saving time right now. And then they wonder, like, how do you think we're able to get all these big jobs done? Because things have to stay stable. Why do you think they bring us on to the next job? Because the products we install, we're 100% in depth on them. We know the little nuances, the details, the whys, how to make them work, how to really push the envelope. And now, once you understand them in a very, very fundamental way, you get the elements about it, now, this is when it gets magical. Because now you do it your way. Now, since you get it, you can add your experience to the sauce, and now you push the product a little bit more. Because they'll take it that 80, maybe 90%, depending on the product, but you as a brand, if you understand how the product truly, truly works, you can start taking it, that extra 10, 20%, and really make it yours. Really make it your solution. Like, one thing I love about my buddies over at Osby, they have this thing called the Osby Way. I love that. It's so cool branding. Those guys are amazing over there. Barry and Dave, they're cool group. Cool. I can't say enough about Osby. And they have their Osby Way, and their projects are amazing. You know, you see this detail. You know, they make these custom face plates, this and that, and everything is one-off and very ornate and beautiful, and they try to get so in depth with the product, and that just, it looks so phenomenal. And it's easy. It comes down to product. Know your lane, know your skill set, know your secret sauce. You're right. And John is another. John and his brother, geniuses. I know I always joke around with him saying his brother's the genius and he's the muscle. It's just a joke. John and Matt are some of the smartest guys I know. These freaking guys, they pull out details about stuff. They calibrate. They understand the audio, the little nuances, the details. And again, why do you think their brand is thriving? Why do you think, and they got like the who's who. I don't want to say customers or anything, but trust me, John's got some serious customers. Why? Because he does amazing work. Because he understands the details on how to make these things work. And he's not selling every freaking brand under the sun. He sells what works. Why is that? Every time I type in the product, it was changing it to sauce. No. Sour, yep. And you that's the thing. You don't want to change the sauce, because once you got some, Joe, what's up? That's my buddy. So, you know, you have this sauce, you can make it work. You don't want to change it. You start understanding, and then at that point, you know, like grandma and her secret sauce, she can make it a little different if she wants, because she understands it. And those of you who don't know, Joe Esposito and Sons. Joe's a very, very close friend of mine. Was an amazing builder and a next level finished carpenter. I mean, I've known him for years. That's who I just went to the Hamptons with. So I'm hoping you'll see some cool projects from us on the Hamptons, which will be pretty cool. And again, got some secret sauce out there to make sure we do it right and that it works. We're seeing an odd shift up here in Boston, and it's not the greatest. We're trying to navigate it with different product mixes. No, and I hear that, and I'm always looking at products, but again, when you're at that level and you understand, a lot of times you can talk to your manufacturers and start working things out in different ways. And manufacturers even will help you out, maybe some price change, or, you know, they come out with new products. So there are things that you can do that really, really help out, you know, that can be a game changer. And again, it's about knowing, just like John said, knowing your lane, you know, having your secret sauce, and you know, just really, really knowing your product so you can push the envelope, and then you start doing your own thing, you know, you start really doing, like Origin Acoustics, they had these speakers. I know I love talking about Origin, so they had these speakers, and I started using them differently than other people, you know. They came down, they saw how I was using them, and the sound was amazing. Customers' mind is blown, everything. And even shows like, oh, I was doing these square ones up top. They're like, oh, that's not, you know, normally we don't see that. But they were happy to see it, and they were very supportive and all that. Again, knowing your product, knowing who you're with, and even down to your distributors. Like, we try not to buy everywhere. You know, you hear me always talking about DSG and Dave, and there's a reason. Like, I'm not just out here just saying it just because, you know, like, those comments are being said because I know where I'm buying from. I know the things that I'm doing, and I'm supporting the people I'm with and the people that are with me. So it's that two-way relationship that's one of the most important things. And again, let's circle back why we started this whole thing. Why do we sell the high-end stuff? Why do we sell those things? Because those brands, more than most, will understand that relationship. Those brands, more than most, especially when you got skin in the game, they will support you, they will help you, and they will make sure that you are thriving and pushing forward. Because if you do not support the brands that support you, they won't support you. It doesn't make any sense. You know how many times I've seen someone get a lead and then they flip it to something else? I'm like, why did you do that? Like, if they came in and they were trying to help, you could, like, just keep it that brand. Keep it, like, respect what's going on, respect manufacturers, respect who's bringing you the deal, and again, respect the brands that are helping you, that are with you, and are making your sauce so special and so magical. But, the funny thing is, you the owner, like me the owner, I'm the one driving. I make that decision. Like, I buy my wire from one spot only. All the time. Windy City, love them. I buy all my wire, all my category cable from Windy City. Now, all my fiber, I buy from DSG. Dave is amazing. Always helps me out. Make sure I get the product whenever I need. And that's just how I do it. I obviously I buy my Crestron for Crestron. Don't you want the best? The best is not much more money than long term, and you get more enjoyment. That is exactly what, and people don't realize that the difference between the two is the difference between the two is not always that much. I had a customer right now where I'm at that we did a wireless system for them, and we showed them a good and the best system. And once he saw it, and he saw what the price difference was, he was like, I'm not willing to forgo for that little amount of money if I can get that much more. That's where dealers kill themselves, because they make these decisions for the customer without letting the customer understand what is truly out there. I had here's a funny story. I remember Theo, I'm chatting with Time Homes in Utah. They came down here, we're rave, and he's telling me a story about how Theo is like talking to him about theaters and everything, and Theo's telling him, as dealers, we have to be brave. We have to take the customer on this journey and go all out. Show them what we can really do. Show them, because they're there. They want it, but they need you to show them the way. That resonated in me in such a way, because they're right. We are the dealers. We need to show them the way. We need to really push the envelope, really make it work. And that way we can, at that point, that's when the magic truly starts happening. That's when we can really do some very cool stuff. But unless we are, as Theo says, we are brave and we really push the envelope, we're never going to get to that point. We're never going to see that amazing thing. We're never going to do that amazing thing, because that is, we didn't allow ourselves to get there. We didn't push the envelope. We didn't do it. And we only get there if we push ourselves, we push the customers, and we show them the way, and we get them there. And it's up to us. Now, I'm at my job site. This is Mike Restrepo of Restrepo Innovations, and this is my morning rant.